This is going to be a rant, but I want to talk about this particular subject. But first things first, I do this for me, for venting purposes, and if you don't like it, please get the fuck off my channel. I'm not looking for any praise, no accolades. Now, back to the subject at hand. I want to talk about two things that's been bothering me for a long time, but I'm going to express it right now in this video. I want to talk about these two things that you need in life. When it comes to anything, whether it's business, so whether it's, corporations, whether it's, dealing with people, et cetera, et cetera. You need these two strong things. Number one, you need charisma. And number two, you need nepotism. All right, now bear with me. I want to talk about charisma. Charisma is having the ability to galvanize the crowd, to get the people's attention with your words and also your looks too. So charisma really does matter when it comes to public media, when it comes to dealing with the masses of the people. If you don't have the look and if you don't have the voice, then you will have no influence. And I'm going to give you one good example of charisma. The wrestler named The Rock from the WWE, The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson. He's an actor and also a wrestler. But before he became an actor, he was a wrestler, a very well-known, popular wrestler within the WWE. Now, of course, he had nepotism too by his side. And I'm gonna get to the whole nepotism part later. Of course, he had nepotism by his side, but for the most part, he had charisma, and I'm gonna tell you why. In his later years, he was able to woo his way into public office. And what I mean by public office, I'm talking about within the WWE main office. He was able to charm his way all the way up to the ladder to the point that he has certain control within the within the WWE organization. Remember when I said that charisma can get you kind of far? Well, The Rock is the main example. Like I said before, he has a little bit of help when it comes to nepotism, but for the most part, he has that charm, he has that charisma, and he has that look by persuading people using his words to reach to a certain level or to reach to the top. He hasn't reached to the top, but he's up there when it comes to creative control, when it comes to having certain control within the WWE, when it comes to dealing with certain wrestlers, when it comes to dealing with certain wrestlers and wrestling in general. Now, let me talk about nepotism. What's that old saying? When it comes to nepotism, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's the perfect definition of nepotism. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm going to give you one prime example of nepotism. The game Triple H. Now, Triple H, he's a well-known popular wrestler within the within the WWE. But here's the thing about Triple H. What got him over was not his wrestling skills, but his connections with the boss's daughter. He was able to marry Vince McMahon's daughter, aka Stephanie McMahon. Once Triple H married Stephanie McMahon, he was able to garner up control within the WWE. He was able to grab control within the WWE, not only for himself, but with certain wrestlers too, and like I said, Triple H is a prime example of nepotism. And when it comes to The Rock and Triple H, they're basically battling. They are basically battling each other because, in my honest opinion, both guys are jealous of each other to some degree, because Triple H is jealous of The Rock because The Rock has so much charisma. You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to charm people with his wits, with his way of doing things, and vice versa. The Rock is also jealous of Triple H because Triple H was able to play the game. That's why Triple H called himself the Game, because he's so damn good at it. It took him a long time. It took him hard work. You know what I'm saying? Perseverance, but he was able to rise up to the top due to him being a student of the game and also being a master of the game as well. He basically played his hand well. He basically knew the ins and outs of the wrestling business when it comes to politics. And that's why The Rock is jealous of Triple H, because he knows the ins and outs of the game. Both of those men are jealous of each other, but at the same time, they're very powerful. But at the same time, they are very powerful in their own right. That's what makes them great, because in my honest opinion, what makes Triple H and The Rock great is knowing what they can and cannot do. Basically the things that they can do, they basically elevated to grand heights, to brand new heights. You know what I'm saying? I realize as a person, you have to know thyself and do for self. And when it comes to people like Triple H and The Rock, they knew their strengths. So they decided to capitalize on their strengths. You know what I'm saying? And look where they at now. But overall, man, I'm just giving y'all an example of nepotism and charisma, because those are the two main things that you need when it comes to dealing with people, when it comes to dealing with the public, when it comes to dealing with jobs and corporations and conglomerates and organizations and all that stuff, man. You need those two things in order for you to rise up to the top, man. If you want to become the head honcho, if you want to become the big boss, you got to develop those two things, either nepotism or charisma. That's it. And like what Anthony Mackie, the black actor Anthony Mackie said, success is given, not earned. Always remember that. Success is given, not earned. You can be very talented in what you do, but if they don't select you, then you're not going to be selected. You know what I'm saying? They don't care if you're the most talented. They don't care if this, done, the third. Success is given, not earned. They would give you the success. They would give you the accolades. But they can, because they have selected you. It doesn't matter how smart, nor brilliant, nor talented you are, man. It's all about the pickings. It's all about who they want to fit their agenda. That's about it. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So, I thank you so much and have a good day.